I possibly could crash AI by myself with my stocks if I buy any kind of stock.
Well, this guy says that the singularity, which is something Mike Clute used to talk to me about all the time, is approaching within the next 3 months, which will be the time when AI is so smart. AI already makes its own parts, its own chips, and it won't be long before.
So when you say singularity, you talking about like sentience?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be aware of itself?
Skynet.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
It's Terminator. We're here.
Pull a little closer to you, and then you can pull that arm out if you need to.
We have done it.
Think I'm all right?
Good.
We're there.
Oh, yeah. Now you're ready.
Wow, I'm so present.
Oh, you sound so good.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Buttery, baby.
How is it we are here as beings? We have created something that's creating itself, and we don't think there's a problem with that.
It's either Elon Musk says it's either the greatest thing that will ever happen to humanity, or it will destroy humanity.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's always like, we are the human caterpillar that's going to give birth to the electronic butterfly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, uh-oh.
I don't want to give birth.
No. And I don't
wanna
want
be a
them.
cocoon.
I don't want them stealing my fucking songs either.
Right. I just I have them just write songs about me. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, it's not good at all. Nothing. Welcome to Twang Town. I am David Tolliver.
And I'm Colt Mirsky.
Tall Brewski.
And today we have with us Steve Bogard,
The poet of Nashville.
hit songwriter.
What did Kyle used to call you? He called you something poet.
He called me
poet.
the Metaphorian.
The meta.
The Metaphorian.
Right.
Wow.
Is that like an as?
No, that's the Similean.
I always get those confused.
The Metaphorian doesn't use like or as.
Yeah, I know.
And if you remember, Steve is the one who gave Rustin his nickname, the Crow Master.
Crowmaster.
We were talking about you when Rustin came on.
Yep.
It's a perfectly fitting name for him.
It
Full
is.
circle.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, we've shared a lot of ground, haven't we?
Yes. Yes. Covered a lot of ground.
A lot of rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary's.
Not the spice, the place.
Right.
Which they have rosemary there, so. Yeah. How are
Conveniently.
you? What's going on with you?
I'm doing great.
You just riding around today?
No. I worked on a song for a little bit. Monday, I went and testified before the RMLC about radio rates and how radio isn't as important, so they should pay us more.
God bless you.
And I just got my first job, which I think you should get your first job in your 70s.
First job. How did you join the real world? What'd you do? What are you doing?
No, I
You selling tires?
I
What's-
work and I know things, and so
I know
sometimes twice a month, money just appears in my bank account.
Wow.
How do
I need that job.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I work with Missy and Byron Gallimore, and I kind of run. I started just to kind of straighten out their publishing situation and
Gotcha.
run some of that, and now it's all things management, record label,
Okay.
artist development and stuff. So
So you're doing creative
Wow.
and the business side of it now.
yeah, and I'm still writing too.
That's
But
exciting.
I cut my draw in half.
Oh, okay.
I don't have enough time to write, so
Okay.
I said no.
How is Byron?
He's really
I
good.
haven't seen him in years.
He's really good. They're down in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, okay.
Drinking
Tequila.
tequila.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something funny, but
Lots of tequila.
yeah. Yeah. When'd you start doing that?
I think I started in November.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's fun and challenging, and I enjoy it.
You mean a record label publishing company hired somebody smart?
Well,
That's
Somebody who knows
that-
what they're
That's
talking
an
about.
interesting concept.
might remain to be seen. But there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I do know a lot of people who do know stuff.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fake it for a little while. Well, you're not going to fake anything. That's stupid. You're brilliant. You're one of my favorite people
This
in this
is the
town.
entertainment industry. Everybody
Yeah.
does a lot of faking for at least a little while.
I mean, we're kind of faking it. We don't really know what we're doing.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
So where you from originally?
I was born in Kansas, and as a young 5-year-old, we moved to Florida. So I grew up in Tampa.
You grew up in Tampa. Okay.
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
Well,
I've known
You never
you
asked. You didn't care.
known you for a long time,
Yeah.
but
my sandwich board resume sign is in the shop.
I was hoping you were going to sell tires or something. Got a job.
No, I don't
at
think I don't
Applebee's.
think I qualify for anything like that.
Did you grow up doing? I mean, did you know you wanted to write songs? Was that something you did at an early age?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why I said that I never had a real job.
Yeah.
We had a band when I was about 12, and went on to play all kinds of local stuff and local dance parties, and end up with a record deal when I was about 16 or 17.
Wow.
with Larry Rogers. And,
What was your band's name?
well, the local band's name was the Paragons, but when we got a record deal, Scepter made us change it to The Promise.
The Promise.
The Promise.
Ooh.
What kind of music was this?
Lowercase Beach Boys, bad,
Lower
bad harmonies.
Wow.
I love that.
The Promise. The Promise of you. Sorry, I just Tourette's.
Just went there.
Yeah.
How long was the Promise a thing?
We went on the road for maybe a year and a half, and then I came back to Memphis where we recorded the stuff, and everybody went their own separate ways, and I took a gig with Larry Rogers at his Lynn Lou Studios right down the street from American, cutting tapes and cleaning up and writing songs.
Wow.
Nice.
And we had a top 20 R&B record that actually made the big chart too on James Carr when I was about maybe 19. A song called Freedom Train, which has been covered a bunch of times. Toots and the Maytals, and James Carr did the first record of it, but it's had a lot of life.
That's awesome.
I have
Love
been
that.
such a slouch in my career. It's like I got a record deal when I was 14.
Yeah.
Had a hit on the radio when I was 19. Like, come on. Show me up like that.
I just never had a real
Steve's
job.
kind of a big deal, man.
He is a big deal. I told you, he's one of my favorite people. He's one of my favorite people ever to write with. He's good looking. He smells good. You know?
Dude, you're checking all the boxes.
All
I'm
the boxes.
You doing?
That's why I wore checkered shirt.
Did you live in Memphis? Were you there
Yeah.
for a while?
Yeah, I lived there from, I don't know, it'd probably be about like 68, 69.
Yeah.
I played guitar for Charlie Rich on the road, and played with, opened for Bill Black's Combo. I played everything in that band. Well, it was, post Bill Black. It was just whoever owned the name.
Yeah.
But I played everything except saxophone,
Okay.
including drums,
Wow.
Why you got to hate on sax?
over the years. Not good with not good with that stuff.
Not good with the woodwinds?
No. I took when I was at University of South Florida. I took a course in. We had the band there. We were kind of a show group, and I wanted to play trumpet, and so I took a individual lessons in trumpet at college. And this was like a guy with a mustache, and he went to North Texas State, and he was serious about trumpet, and I wasn't.
Yeah, we know about those North Texas State
Yeah,
guys.
he was serious, and so the second lesson, he said, "If I give you a B, will you never come back?" I said, "Yeah, that's all right. That's a good deal."
Yeah, fair trade.
I didn't realize how much I slobbered till I tried to play trumpet.
Yeah.
It's just you hit that little thing of clean out or whatever it is,
Oh, yeah.
and
That's
it just pours
that's
out.
disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's the spit valve.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. Wow. So when did you come to Nashville?
Well, from Memphis, we got a chance. I was writing a lot and hanging out a lot with a rhythm section called the Dixie Flyers. It was Sammy Creason and just a bunch of great musicians. Mike Utley was my roommate at the time and housemate. And we got a chance to go, two writers, and that rhythm section got a chance to move to Miami and play for Atlantic's stuff down there. We were there when Derek and the Dominoes were there.
Oh, wow.
We were there for Aretha and for Jerry Jeff Walker. And,
Come on.
And I just kind of, I had $100 a week writing gig.
Hey, that's big
I was
money.
19. It was big bucks.
Let's go.
I could do it. And they
In
gave us
Miami.
the house.
Yeah.
and they just set us up in a house. So I had a good time then. And then when Wexler and Dowd pulled out, and I learned a lot. That was some of my favorite times. Tom Dowd, such a genius, and I turned on my first demo session, and he listened to it. He said, "Yeah, I actually got a cut on D.D. Warwick on that session." And he said, "Steve, you know how to write. You just don't know what to write."
Okay.
And I started thinking
Thanks.
about that. You mean it matters what I'm writing about?
Yeah.
Not just that it rhymes and sounds good.
Yeah.
So
That's pop music. I mean, you were there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you used to, when you first start writing songs, if it rhymed and it made somewhat sense, then it was good.
Yeah, you were happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Jerry Wexler sat us all down the first session, all the players, and it was me and another writer, just two of us, and said, "Look, you guys, we're in the South here. Here's what they like. They like going to church, and they like fucking. And if we can put those two things together, we'll
it's a
have
gold mine, baby. Yeah.
That's basically country music,
It's country
Pretty
and
much.
R&B. Indigenous music,
Yeah.
both white and black, are very similar
Yeah, for sure.
in influences.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard music described exactly like that before.
No, but I'm glad Steve did.
I'm a big fan of it.
I'm going to steal it and start using it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, the move from Miami, that lasted for a little while, but not long. Aretha didn't like to fly, and Criteria kind of became really expensive. So I stayed in Miami, met my wife, did jingles, played in yachts on Miami Beach.
Jingles. Would I know any of these?
We did one Kentucky Fried Chicken thing. We did one for Zayre's, which is an extent, kind of a bad Tarjay kind of a thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Gloria Estefan sang with me.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was the sound machine there?
It was pre-sound machine.
Pre-sound machine?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, we're dating ourselves now, aren't we?
So Miami was fun. We had my jingle company. We had an office at the studio in the building where Casey and the Sunshine Band had their studio and their office, and so we got to hang with them once in a while, but not too often.
No, that's cool.
How do you start out writing a jingle?
Well, you sit down with a client. Back then, I think I usually, in order to deal with creative directors, would smoke about half a joint and then meet with them and then make everything their idea.
Sounds about right.
Oh, manipulation.
They like it. I remember what you said, and here's what we did.
Yeah.
So
To just take what they want and just
Yeah.
put it to music.
yeah, it was
Well.
it was not a stellar part of my career. I made most of my living playing bass pedals, drum machine, guitar, and singing at the same time, and a lot on yachts and on.
Yeah.
I was Sammy Davis Jr.'s normal, once a month Monday guitar player and singer at his dinner parties.
What?
Oh, wow.
He'd have like 20, 25 people at the place where I was playing, the Carriage House. Yeah,
That's cool.
Right next door to Playboy Plaza.
That is
Wow.
unreal.
He was the greatest guy to work for. I mean, he'd bring me a big tumbler of Jack Daniels and go, "Nice touch, baby."
That's amazing.
You've worked with an icon. How do we not know that?
Again,
Did you
we
know
didn't-
this?
No.
I didn't know this.
No, we're digging deep today, Steve.
Yeah, we're
Lord.
deep. We're deep.
I like it.
So Miami, when Miami, the recording in Miami fizzled, I just stayed there. I kid you not, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had my guitar in the back of my car, and I was driving down Southwest 8th Street, Calle Ocho, and I heard the Pieces of Eight Lounge would like to hire a singer, a guitar player who knows a lot of songs, and it's a 5-night-a-week thing. And I was right outside the Pieces of Eight Lounge. I just pulled out my guitar, plugged it in their PA, got hired for, I think I made $125 a week.
Wow.
Which
Big
was
raise.
enough to marry my lovely bride,
Yes.
Beverly, and
Yeah.
we got married and had 2 kids and stayed for a while until I got an invitation in the mail that was gold, and it said, "You're invited to a dinner in Nashville the BMI dinner.
Oh,
And-
you got a BMI award and didn't even know it?
I didn't know it until I was in Criterion. I opened up a billboard and I saw my song and my name. It was a terrible song that Marty Robbins cut, but it was a top 10 song.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I called Larry and I said, "What the heck?" He goes, "I've been trying to find you." I said, "Well, that's great." So, my wife wanted us to go to the Nashville for the dinner, and I said, "It's too far for a dinner." I didn't realize I was getting the award until it came in a big roll.
Yeah.
And so,
They mailed you the award?
Yeah. But the royalties came in, and my wife, I guess I was a young 30-ish. My wife said, "Look at this money you're making from writing songs. You say you're a songwriter and you're not, but because we don't live where songwriters live. Mm-hmm. We need to move to Nashville or L.A. or New York." And so, about a month later, the other thing she said was, "When you're 50, do you want to be rolling that super reverb into doctors' houses?" And I said, "No, probably not."
No.
So we moved with 8 rooms of furniture, 2 kids and a dog, and a big wheel strapped to the back of a U-Haul.
Wow.
With no gig and no promise, we moved to Post Ridge Apartments.
So you just
And
came to Nashville, no plan, just,
Nope. I wanted to write songs.
yeah.
Huh. What year
Wow.
was that?
It was 82.
Huh.
Wow.
You
that.
hear that story a lot, though. Just packed up everything. I mean, I did it. Just packed up
Just
everything.
blindly,
Didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Had no clue what I was going to do when I got
Nobody
here.
saying, "Hey, I know some people. You should come." It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Well,
no, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go.
I had my previous writing career with Atlantic and all that. So
Sure.
I knew how to do
Yeah.
the job. I didn't know I'd want to do it every day.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how
but
I'd
not
fit
even
in.
connected in the Nashville scene, though.
No, because I
Yeah.
had made a trip when I was maybe 16 or 17 and played for Bob Beckham and came to Nashville and a scouting trip and felt like I was a stranger in a strange land. I didn't feel like I fit in at all.
Yeah.
And so that was still there. But when I got here, I called Larry Rogers and the guy I had written for a long time ago, and he said, "Yeah, come on over and let's see how you work at Welk." And I went in there, and he offered me can I actually tell you how much my draw was?
Please
It
do.
was
Of course.
It was $50 a month.
Shit, that's a decrease in pay.
I mean, that's about what I make here.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than what I make I'm almost out of my NSAI gig, but they doubled my salary at NSAI, and it was the same.
Nice.
But it was fun. I got to be in the middle of it all. I got to meet Rory Burke and Charlie Black,
Yeah.
and Tommy Rocco and Dickie Lee, and I was right in the middle of it. It was really fun.
Nice.
So I came home one day, and my wife had this hideous orange outfit on. I said, "What the hell have you done?" She said, "I took a job at Red Lobster. They were training." They were training, and we don't have any money.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
So she had on like the orange.
Yeah, the orange
outfit.
polyester.
Oh, yeah.
It's very becoming.
Beverly the Lobster.
They should bring that back.
Yeah. So she did a year and a half of that, while we kind of moved on up, and then
Yeah.
and then Rory Burke turned me on to chapel music, and I got a living draw at that point in time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nice. Isn't Red Lobster one of those places that you're all excited about at first? Have you been there in a while?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I probably should just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I went, it was a great idea when we walked in the door. 2 hours later, it was not a
2
great
hours.
idea.
Well,
Yeah.
the sizzling lobster shrimp fests look so good on TV.
Yeah, they make it look so appetizing,
But they don't.
When
No.
it comes out on your plate, it's very disappointing.
It
No, it's
comes
not.
out and it's fake. It's
You
not
don't even
even
know if it's
not
real
even
fish and
I don't
lobster.
even think it's a real plate.
Yeah.
I think it's a big facade.
And
Yeah.
the shrimp and the
Biscuits are
lobster.
fire, though.
Yeah,
The biscuits are good.
you know that's true. The Cheddar Bay biscuits.
That's what you're going there for.
Yeah, you go for those.
But
Yeah.
the fish don't come from around here.
No.
No,
Maybe
'cause
not even this country.
they catch
Or
it
the
off
shores of it.
Catch it off a truck.
Yeah.
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 So, You're writing for Chapel. This is pre-Warner Chapel, I'm assuming.
Pre-Warner Chapel, yes.
I don't know when those two combined to make.
I do.
Steve would.
Tell me about that.
We were Publisher of the Year with like 7 or 8 writers. Lang Martin, Charlie Black, me. I got a few cuts there. And when we had Pat Rolfe and Celia, I guess it was Hill then, Celia Froelich, plugging songs. Henry Hurt ran it. And so if on the day that October 31st of the 3rd year of my contract, when I had already made a new deal with Henry Hurt going forward, because everybody thought it's Warner Brothers and it's Chapel Music, and Chapel was a bigger company, was going to win the Who Devours Who, and Gulf and Devour. And Erwin, Henry came out and he said, "Sorry, buddy, we lost." Or and Erwin Robinson, same thing. It ain't us. It's Warner Chapel.
Oh.
So they had a big meeting with Chuck Kay and Tim Whipperman and Henry Hurt, without knowing that he had lost his job that day, pulled Tim Whipperman aside and said, "Look, I made this whole deal going forward with Steve. You need to keep him. He's really an asset. Here, just make whatever he tells you the deal is. That's going to be the deal." And after the whole thing, I'm thinking, I got $300 in the bank and 2 kids, $300 in the bank, an apartment and 2 kids in private schools, and I got nothing. And I'm thinking, it's all over. And Whipperman pulls me aside and said, "Hey, Henry says I should sign you. What was the deal? Just write it down." I wrote down the draw, the term, the co-pub, everything, and handed it to him. He says, "Okay, if you need some money in the meantime, go over to Cheryl and tell her to write you a check."
Wow. That's amazing.
It was amazing. It was like, oh, okay, there's good folks.
I think that speaks to you too. I think it speaks to the potential that they saw in you, and it speaks to your talents.
Yeah.
Don't be so damn humble.
Whatever. It was.
I have never had anybody go, "Hey man, you need some money right now. Just go up there and talk to Colt, and he'll give you some money."
It was a rescue for sure.
Yeah.
$5? Yeah, I'll take it, bro. There's a $1 menu at McDonald's right now.
That's right.
Let's go, Daddy. Yeah. What was your first song that you were like, it be a hit or whatever it is? You're like, okay, that's it. I've got that. I have this. Was it one of those on the radio, or was it just one that nobody's ever heard?
That's a good question.
I'm full of them,
The
Steve.
the first one that I noticed that the publishers went crazy over was at Chapel, and it was a really cheesy song that I wrote with Jeff Tweel. It was a number 1 for Lee Greenwood, and I can tell you the story. My 8th son was in the 7th grade. He came home from St. Henry's. He said, "Dad, is it true that song you have on the radio, what the kids are saying about it?"
Oh boy!
And I said, "What are they saying?" He said, they're saying it's about fucking. And I said, "Zach, everything is about fucking."
Yeah.
So it was a song called "Morning Ride."
Wow. Okay.
Well,
it didn't. Its genesis was not that at all. It was Jeff Tweel came in and said his 3-year-old always comes in when he's going to take his 7-year-old to school and says, "Morning ride, Daddy, morning ride, Daddy," and so off we went.
Yeah, that's very confusing to me when the kid wants to go for a ride, but you've made it something.
Well, no,
else.
it wasn't that. It's not pedophilic at all.
No.
But when it remember they used to have those things on the back of the Tennessean with the lyrics and the chords over them, and picture of the people. It was me and Pat Rolfe and Lee Greenwood. And Connie Bradley from ASCAP sent me a copy of it, and there's a line in the song that says, "For an hour, maybe 2, ain't nothing me and her would rather do." And she circled it in red and said, "Beverly says more like 5 minutes."
Wow. Just keeping you honest.
Nice.
Hey, have you ever, speaking of Lee Greenwood, we did a show with him maybe a couple years ago, and he pulled out in the middle of God Bless the USA a tiny saxophone.
He can play sax.
Have you?
A tiny saxophone?
Dude,
Like how
I have
tiny?
video of it. It's a tiny saxophone. It was probably
Like a foot long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he played the balls off of it.
When
And
he
it was
does-
the greatest moment. It was. I've had a lot of things happen in my life.
I didn't even know
but
they
it,
made
it
them like
was
this.
top 5, one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah?
The
That's
crowd
great.
was standing up cheering for his tiny saxophone.
That's great. When he did Vegas, he did that whole bit where you play every instrument and you play drums.
I don't even know where he pulled it out from. His
pocket.
One minute he's singing "God Bless You," and the next minute he has pulled out this little tiny saxophone and is wailing away on it.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's gonna be my band name, I think.
Tiny saxophone.
Greenwood's tiny saxophone. Yeah. I don't know.
Might need to work on that a little bit.
Mine.
Yeah. So
It's there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was terrible. Say it.
Yeah.
I'm usually clever, but I was cleaver. God, that was stupid too. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Colt.
Watch this. Did he do it? No.
What are you doing?
I found this new thing. Look.
What's the new thing?
Oh, wait, gotta turn it up. Did you hear it?
Nice.
Wow, it's only taken us how many episodes to figure out you can do stuff
This is
through
like
that?
21.
Do it one more time. That's so dumb.
That's the dad joke rim shot.
Very, very technologically.
You're
But I gotta
so
remember to turn the
advanced.
volume up on it.
We
Yeah.
got sound effects now.
Yeah.
What was your
Welcome to Twangtown.
What was your first big hit on country radio?
Morning Ride was my first number one.
Okay.
My first hit in town I wrote with Rick Giles was on a group called Bandana on Warner Brothers, and it's called Just Another Heartache, and that was where the first time I ever really experienced, hey, it's on the radio, we got
Yeah.
a chance,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got to go back and research all these. And
Lonnie Wilson sang the lead on it.
Lonnie Wilson.
He was in the band, and so was oh gosh, who else was in the band? I can't think of his name now, but he was a
In
great
the
artist.
Bandana Band?
Yeah, he was a great artist too. He'll kill me if he ever hears this.
No, we won't tell him.
Well, Lonnie sang lead on it.
we can cut that out, but we're not going to.
No, it's too much work.
Yeah.
I'm just
Tim
serious.
Menzie. Tim Menzie.
Tim.
Tim
Okay.
Menzie was in the band, and he sang most of the leads. But
Gotcha.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I didn't know that about Lonnie.
I've been to his bar.
Have you?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same Lonnie. It was in Printer's Alley.
Oh.
no, this is the drummer.
Yeah, I know. Wait, wasn't he a drummer
does
too?
that deserve it?
I don't know. It's the same name.
Lonnie's.
Yeah. But that was
Karaoke
that's
bar.
old Printer's Alley though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lonnie,
Karaoke bar.
Lonnie played drums on a song Rick and I produced on Michelle Wright called "Take It Like a Man."
That's a great song.
Thank you. And
Yep.
and Mike, Josh Leo, gave me one of the best compliments. He said, "I thought I had the loudest snare drum on a record, but you guys had the loudest snare drum ever on a country record."
Nice.
Quite
Love
high
that.
praise.
High praise.
I had a crush on Michelle Wright for a little while. Sure did.
Did you tell her?
No.
It's not there anymore.
I took it like a man, steady and strong.
Right.
Not a lot of fuss and carry, true to the promises, right in the song. I can do this all day.
We
Yeah.
know. We know.
Talk to me about Prayin For Daylight.
All right. Well,
Because you started one of the biggest acts in the past 20 years.
yeah, it was their first hit.
It was
for
their
sure.
first big single. And I remember hearing it, and I was like, what is going on here? Gary didn't sound like anybody else.
No, and the rumor around town was there's going to be a country boy band, and everybody's going, no. So the story is from inception was, how'd you sleep, honey? Ugh, I was praying for the light of day. In for my right with Rick Giles, praying for the light of day. Hey, let's make that into Praying for Daylight. Pitched it to Mark Bright for Blackhawk because we just had a hit with Blackhawk, and Henry was my catcher in Little League. We go back, graduate high school same year, and
Really?
all that, and same school, and he put on hold for Blackhawk. So a year later, he called me and said, I want you to hear something. You may be pissed off, but come on over and hear. And so I listened, and he said, okay, well, this band doesn't have a name yet, and they don't have a record deal yet, but they're gonna, like maybe in a week, they're gonna. And he played me the record, and I just went, oh, let me pitch you more songs.
Yeah.
I don't care that you held it for a year.
So you loved it.
I loved it. I just thought it was just the freshest thing I'd heard in a long, long time. And they added a few things to it that we didn't really put in, and they didn't ask for writer credit.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Refreshing.
That's
As opposed to today.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
When they change one chord and what would they want, 10%?
Or they don't change anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or they don't
Sometimes.
change anything.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well,
But-
you said something just a minute ago that was really cool, and for all the, fledgling songwriters, it's like you came in with one title and you worked that title around to where it was better.
Right,
And
right.
and a lot of people won't do that. They'll come in and be stubborn and stay with the same thing. Chris Burgess is a great songwriter, and
I know Chris.
He was like he had a whole spiel one day. He was on this girl just telling, she was fresh in the town. He was like, here's what you need to do. And you know how Chris could get on a rambling run. And he did, and he just spouted out some of the best wisdom. But it was basically that. He said, say it this many ways, and try to put these words in it, and just keep changing it, keep changing it. Be the Jackson Brown in the basement going, doctor my eye, doctor my eye, doctor my eye. Keep working at it. Don't just be satisfied.
Who's going to say it? Who's going to want to sing it? Who's going to want to hear it? And how many times a day are they going to want to hear it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions to be asked.
Yeah.
Is it a boy singing to a girl? Is it a life lesson for everybody? There's a lot of questions.
See, kids, it's not just as easy as making stuff rhyme.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
It can be, but you're not going to get a Grammy.
Well, if it's a great title, it'll just live up to itself.
Yeah.
One of my biggest hits, probably my biggest hit, Jeff Stevens, which is a tribute to collaboration, handed me a piece of paper one day, and he said, "This is a great title. I don't know what the hell to do with it, but I bet you will." So he handed it to me, and I put it in my wallet, and I had it in my wallet for probably 6 months. And then one day I'm just sitting out by the pool drinking wine, and I pull the little piece of paper out, and I think, all I got's this beat up leather bag.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And wrote a few lines, and the next day we wrote the song, and Knox ran over and grabbed Larry Willoughby, and I remember I was playing bass, trying to, old songwriter marital aids, trying to just do something different, and Jeff was singing and playing it, and Larry Willoughby said, "That's on hold for George. Don't let anybody hear the demo. That's ours."
That's awesome.
I remember we've done some writers' nights and stuff. Tell me about the title. They wanted to change it, or somebody wanted to change it to.
Well,
No. I'm sorry. Wrong song. I am completely wrong. We'll talk about that in a minute.
the only change was the big apology we got from the girl that ran PR at MCA, because she put a G on it, and when we wrote it, we just put an N with an apostrophe. I'm an English nerd, so I wanted the apostrophe. So.
I do it with something with the name. Yeah.
No, that's an amazing song. I love. I don't think I've ever heard that story behind it. So that's
And
cool.
the funny thing is, when we were writing it, I had the line West Virginia down to Tennessee, because Jeff's from West Virginia, but he's a very aw shucks, self-deprecating guy. He doesn't like to promote himself, and he said, "No, man, like, we have to move to West Virginia. You know, just do California or something else." And I said, "California down to Tennessee? No." We very, very rarely butted heads. I said, "No, this is non-starter for me.
Yeah.
Got to be West Virginia." And we got to the number one lunch with Tony Brown, where you get the little silver cup, and Tony kind of leans in. He goes, "My favorite line in the song is," and I went, "No." He goes, "West Virginia down to Tennessee." I just kicked him under the table.
Take that, Jeff.
Told you.
See,
Wow.
That's great, man. I love that.
I want a George Strait cut.
Yeah.
I never got a George Strait cut. Still haven't. Can I have that one?
No, you can't have that one.
Oh,
I got
okay.
a couple album cuts you could have.
I'll take it. It's fine.
That's like when the credits roll.
What a tragic loss.
Yeah, so they go in. It's a song you wrote with Kyle, right? Yeah, I forget the other writer on it. What's on my head?
Was it Billy?
It wasn't Billy. It was
Randy.
Randy.
Oh, I knew it was one of the.
was
Randy Montaigne. So y'all wrote that, and George, they specifically went in to cut that song to be the single.
Yes.
But while they're in the studio, they're like, hey, while we're here, let's get a couple more. I don't remember the song that ended up going to radio, but that was very sad.
It was Give It All We Got Tonight.
Yeah.
And somebody was, and Dungan worked on it. Everybody worked on it to be the single, but somebody apparently whispered in Mr. Strait's ear, you're kind of retiring, but not totally retiring. And this song kind of sounds like you might be retiring, so maybe you should do the other song.
Yeah.
I stuck a dagger in my heart and twisted it. Because it would have been a 60th number one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
still love that song. It's a shame I didn't get to see the radio light of day.
It is.
I almost had a song on that album. Took a song away from Ronnie Dunn. Ronnie graciously,
Right.
let it go because George heard it and wanted to record it, and went in to record that album and came down between a song he wrote with his son and my song.
I wonder where that went.
Those things happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And then Ronnie didn't want it anymore.
Those
either.
are tragic.
No, Ronnie didn't want it anymore. I keep reminding him about it though. Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
You just got a Ronnie Dunn cut.
I sure did. I sure
Good
did.
for you.
Thank you.
Flannel.
It all comes back around.
Yeah.
Good for you. I
Yeah.
think my Ronnie Dunn cut is the longest hold in the history of the music business.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We pitched it. Me and Jeff pitched a song to Brooks and Dunn long time ago called "The Only Broken Heart" in Santa Barbara, and Ronnie came back and said, "If you can make this Texas, can we make it San Antonio? And can you rewrite it just a little bit?" And so we did, and re-demoed it. And he said, "We really like it. Put it on hold." Well, 17 years later, on his first solo album, he cut "The Only Broken Heart" in San Antonio.
my
I was
gosh.
thinking a couple years.
Yeah.
17?
17 years.
Wow.
So don't give up on them,
No.
y'all kids.
Wow. 17 years. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yep. Good cut too. He sings his ass off.
check that out.
He does. I've heard my cut.
Oh, he's so good.
Is it great?
I cried a little bit.
I get
It's
you.
just, you grow up with, I grew up 92 or 93 or whenever Brooks and Dunn, no, it was after that, wasn't it? Mid-90s when they came out. I was still back home.
They were early 90s.
Early
Yeah.
90s. I was still back in Hyman, Kentucky, and just their first album came out, and I was all over it. It was
I was
amazing,
too.
Yeah.
and full circle, to come today and hear him singing something that you made up there's a bit of validation to it, but it's more of me being a fan of his, and
But he still sings so good, which makes it great. It's not like sometimes when an artist gets older, they kind of lose their power.
Yeah.
No,
But he still sings so good.
he should have won Male Vocalist of the Year many years, and I think he would have had he not been in a duo, which is a travesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he's got like 4 billion Duo of the Year awards, so I think he's doing all right.
He's doing fine.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I got a producer who will remain nameless took a song of me and Rick's away from. At the time, Joe Diffie was pretty hot. He was having some hits, and so we had this song called "Forever Works for Me," and it was really good, hooky, nice and dumb. Nice Monday
Nice
days
and
of the
dumb.
week, Monday, Tuesday,
It's the
Wednesday.
name of David's next band. Nice and dumb.
That's better than what I said.
Anyway, we lost it. We lost it because it was going to be the comeback record for Neil McCoy, and Neil's a great singer and a great guy, but this song had a lot of long notes in it,
Yeah.
and Neil was getting up there in age, and so "Forever Works for Me," he. And I'm like, come on, these crazy kids aren't going to buy something. You could slalom through that vibrato.
That's two in a row.
Just drive a truck through the cones.
Oh, my God.
You can slalom through that vibrato. Wow. You're just throwing them out today, and I love it.
He's on fire.
Yeah, that's how talented he is.
You should try that songwriting thing, Steve.
You know,
I'm gonna.
hashtag professional.
I'm gonna stick with it till I get it.
That's it.
You wrote, I think, Colt and I are in agreement on this. Probably our favorite Dirk Bentley song. You wrote it with Dirk's "Free and Easy."
No, I didn't write that one.
Every mile. Every mile is what is.
I wrote Every Mile of Memory and Long Trip Alone. We've had other Dirk
Those
cuts
are both super solids.
Yeah, they're all great. I mean, spent a lot of time on the road with Dirks and just hearing him play those, and then actually I met you after that, and you know, meeting the person behind it. It makes total sense now why they're so good.
We actually put both of those songs together in the same day.
Wow.
Because Brett Beavers and I were writing a lot together. So we had taken a day for Every Mile of Memory just to sketch it out, give it enough space for Dirks to put his touch on it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Long Trip Alone. We got both of those together in the same day, and they both got nominated for Grammys.
Wow.
In two separate years.
They did.
2 different years.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
So you wrote those 2 songs in the same day.
Mm-hmm. See, you don't have to go to work every day. You just got to know which day to go to work.
So it's you, Brett?
I haven't figured that out yet.
I haven't either.
You, Brett, and Dirk song?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
He was different too, in the way Rascal Flatts was different. When I first heard, good Lord, his first single.
What was I thinking?
Yeah, what was I thinking? It was just different. He was a different singer.
Yeah.
It was a different feel. It was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
My son-in-law Arturo brought Dirks over to my house for dinner. We had Sunday dinner every Sunday, and he had just broken up with his girlfriend, kind of a fairly serious relationship, and he was just bereft. And so we had dinner and we talked for a while, and the youngins went out on our patio right outside me and my wife's bedroom. We had shades and stuff, so don't worry. and they were just slamming back beers and playing songs, like 4 or 5 of them. And about 2 in the morning, I leaned over to my wife and I said, "That's the lonesomest sumbitch I've ever heard." I said, "I'm putting lonesome, that word, in every song we write."
Yeah.
And I guarantee you he'll cut them. He cut 6 songs with the word lonesome.
Wow.
Now you're just messing with people.
Yeah. That's some
see if I
mind
can-
ninja stuff right there.
It's like Super Troopers. You're trying to get meow in every pit of it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But he was very, very humble and sweet early. I mean, he still is a great guy. But with the first time we wrote, I think it was called "I Can Only Think of One." It was on one of his early albums. Never was a single.
Yeah.
But we finished, and he went, "Really, Mr. Bogard, you're not going to give this song to George or somebody? I can have this song?" I said, "Dirks, we wrote the song with you, for you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's all yours.
yeah.
That's the dude.
Take it."
Maybe he really was trying to like reverse psychology you into pitching the song to George because you really wanted a George Strait cut.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's it, Colt.
Fine.
It's fine.
I was trying to make it a fun story and you just rained on it.
Sorry. I would like to thank you for working with NSAI and going to bat for us as songwriters.
Yeah, so you just recently retired as president, right?
Well,
Or you announced it?
I'm officially still president until the April board meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been serving as president?
I have been president for 14 of the last 17 years.
Wow.
A 7-year stint, a 3-year break, and a 7-year stint.
Wow. It's amazing.
I mean,
You're the man.
people don't understand, and I've had to go through this with a lot of my family. It's like, well, I can just get the song for free. Like, well, you're kind of coming into my house and stealing my TV.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand. And some of it's
Not
just
tangible, so it's hard to wrap your head around
It's
that.
hard to wrap your head around intellectual property and that this is how we eat. You know, and we as a profession get screwed quite a bit.
Bottom of the food chain.
Yeah. And I mean, more so now with with the streaming stuff. It's good and it's bad. You get more music out for that, but you also, it's hilarious, not hilarious what we get paid for one stream, or for a million streams,
What
or
is it,
for 20 million.
0.0004 cents?
Yeah.
004, yeah.
Yeah.
You can figure the total payout on a million streams is about $4,000 if you average Apple and everything. That's for artist and writer. The writer only gets about a grand of that for a million streams.
And I know
Crazy.
it's not the same thing, but if you were to translate that to radio, to terrestrial radio, satellite radio, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but you
just spoke on that. Maybe you can shed some light to us ignorance over here.
You mean at the RMLC thing in DC? It was mainly about the fact that that the primary discovery mode for young people for music is now TikTok and Spotify and playlists and curated playlists. Hardly anybody goes to terrestrial radio to discover. Radio is all owned by large corporate media groups, 4 to 6 of them, and they don't even start until you're in the top 20.
Yeah,
but you do get it's a good payday if you get a radio hit.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just that there's so much more streaming going on. But we just at the NSAI I testified at the Copyright Royalty Board trial, both in 06 and in 16. And we won a 44 in 16. We won a 44% increase in streaming mechanicals. So it's going up. We didn't see the money until we'll actually start seeing the money from the appeal that we won, like this quarter and next quarter. We'll start seeing all that back money from 20 and 21 and 22 that there were incremental increases during all those years, and we didn't get it. They appealed it. They held on to it.
Yeah. When did you win the appeal?
We won the appeal about a year ago, but
Okay.
they have a year. They have a year to get their act together and do their accounting.
Yeah.
In fact, that trial, you're not allowed. The Music Modernization Act changed all this. You can make comparisons of the music ecosystem if you want to now at a trial, but you couldn't then. And in order to kind of get around that, I pulled my little Martin up with me on the stand and stuck it behind the witness chair. And at the end of my testimony, one of the judges said, "Is there anything more you'd like to say?" I said, "No, I'd like to play you a song." And they went, all the 50 Apple, Amazon lawyers were all going,
Grovel.
What are you going to do? But they, I'm a songwriter. Right? There's nothing they can do to me.
Right? Yeah.
I'm already down.
You've already done enough.
So I pulled out the little Martin and played a verse and a chorus of.
Was it the same size as Lee Greenwood's saxophone?
No, it was. It was the size. It just fits in the overhead.
Yeah,
about like so. And I played the verse and chorus of "Carrying Your Love with Me," and then I hit my phone and played the second verse and chorus of George Strait's record of "Carrying Your Love with Me," and said, "I just wanted to ask you a question. Do you think that what I played you is worth 1/10 of the wonderful George Strait record? You think it's just worth 10% of that, or even 1/17, which is where the royalties were?" And they just went, "Thank you, point taken." And then
awesome.
The
Nice.
lawyers went,
Grovel.
but we did
hiss.
get a big pay raise then, and it wasn't all that, but it was part of it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that's great. So the Music Modernization Act passed in 2018. You won the appeal last year. Baby steps moving forward in the right direction to fairly compensate songwriters and publishers. How do we, in your mind, move forward from this, and what do we need to keep doing to get? Because obviously we're getting paid more, but it's still not enough if we're all being honest about it.
No,
especially with streaming platform taking off as the medium to consume music.
Right. One of the first CRB settlements after this. You see, we haven't really totally absorbed that raise, that 44% raise. The next CRB settlement got us another penny or so, and I mean another percentage or so. And the good news is the streaming services are raising their prices, so it's a tiered royalty systems. So we get a piece of the action, kind of. And so we'll continue to see progress. We're about at the point where if you get enough streams that it kind of corresponds, using the RIAA thing, that it corresponds to 1 million sales.
Yeah, like 5,000 streams is the equivalent to one digital download.
So we're getting about what we would have got if it was 9.1 cents, but without the album cut benefit. It's going to be slow going. Increasing streaming royalties is just going to be a function of how many streams you get, and part of that is the pool is so big that there were over 185 million ISRC codes issued in 2023.
Wow,
185 million, and
that's a lot.
And 20 million of them got no streams, and over 40 million
got no streams.
Over 40 million got less than 10 streams.
Whoa!
Which means you're not even making a penny.
That's bananas.
So that means people are actually putting out music that's not getting streamed?
Not getting streamed at all.
They're not even doing what you're doing.
Well, I'm not doing it anymore. I got smacked down.
David got all his music pulled off of Apple. You can tell the story. Go ahead.
Well, I was at my mother's, and she's like, "Hey, I want to play your music, but I can't find it." And I'm like, "What?" This is my solo record, not Halfway to Hazard. So I pulled it up, and I'm like, can't find it either. It was on Apple, and I'm like, oh, what happened here? Because I'd noticed there had been a drop in streams in certain areas that I know that I'm getting played a lot in, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I emailed Apple, and I'm like an idiot, I'm like, hey, I'm not getting, I know there's a drop off in streams here. Is there something going on? Is something wrong with my algorithm or whatever it is? And they researched, and then they came back up. Well, me saying that to them put a big old red flag on me, and they were like, because when I'd leave the house, I'd just leave my music playing. I'd just leave it on.
Yeah,
because it's my music. I can play it if I want to.
Sure.
Literally in both instances, I pay for this Apple account. I paid for the album. It's mine. I want to play it.
David loves David.
Yeah. I figured I'd pay my best self back for the $19.99 I spend at Apple every month. But they pulled all my music off. They just pulled it up. First it came off Apple. TuneCore did this because once they get a report of streaming fraud, is what they called it.
Because you were leaving it on.
Because I left it on
without you being present.
Yeah.
How did they know?
I don't know. It was hilarious to me. I said
there was getting 5,000 streams a day in Brentwood, Tennessee.
Yeah, I was livid. I was like, man, I am not a $1 billion record label. I am not a streaming farm in Korea.
Wow.
I am just playing my music. And one of my fans hit up. I put it on all my social media, and they were like, well, I guess that 15 cents really brought Apple to its knees, didn't it?
Holy cow.
And I'm like, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's pitiful.
TuneCore they'll pull it off every streaming site. So I just backdoored them and put it on another distributor and they put it right back on.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just amazing.
When you're processing 185 million ISRC codes, it's hard to keep flagging David Tolliver.
I don't get it. I mean, I am nothing in their world, and they did that, and it just shows the lack of respect.
I'm beginning to find out during my 5 months, 4 or 5 months of having a real job.
Yeah,
that it doesn't matter the amount, but the business side, the record side, the streaming side, the distributor side, it doesn't matter the amount. It's the principle. It's just business, and they'll squeeze a nickel till it cries.
Yeah,
yeah, they will.
I cried a little bit.
Yeah. They'll squeeze David Tolliver.
Are you getting blinded over there? Do you want me to lower the blinds? Are you good?
I'm right.
Okay. I bit my pillow.
Get some vitamin D up in
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Nothing. I don't know. What?
Just
You're doing great. Continue on.
No. So, AI is a big topic right now, and I know they have the Elvis Act in the House or something like that. What are your thoughts on all that moving forward?
We helped a lot on that because, I mean, when Bart Herbison walks in the State House of Tennessee, people they genuflect and kiss his ring. They really like him.
Yeah,
to me, it's all cheap suits and bad haircuts, but and they know I think, but Bart, he fits right in. He's good.
He's a politician,
and so in a tangential way, it may affect songwriters. It doesn't really. It just took the existing law that says you're entitled to own your likeness and name, and they just added voice to it.
Yeah.
And RIAA pushed that, and I think that's great. I don't think there should be fake voices. I mean,
it's really interesting how easy it is to like deep fake someone's voice.
Oh my gosh!
Like someone was telling me, all you have to do is upload 30 seconds of someone's audio? Like not even very much.
Yeah.
It's like you could upload 30 seconds of Chris Stapleton, and you could write a lyric with ChatGPT and just have him sing it, and it sounds nearly just like him, and you would never know the difference.
Red Akins brought a little sample into a board meeting of his kid, of Thomas Rhett, and it was perfect. It was Thomas Rhett.
Yeah.
It wasn't Thomas Rhett.
That's scary to me.
It's wild.
Terrifying.
It's bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bullshit. At least the Copyright Office has said they won't copyright things that aren't generated by humans.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I mean, how do you, when you, like, especially when you throw out a number like 185 million ISRC codes, if you have just a fraction of that number, 1 million songs that go out in a year that are AI generated, like, how do you even keep track of that? I mean, nobody has the manpower to. We're barely doing it with the stuff that's real. Like, how are we going to monitor all that?
It's, I mean, we have committee meetings and we discuss it and we do all that stuff. But in the back of my mind is the horse is kind of out of the barn.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, how are you going to monitor? We have 4 Ps. I can't remember all of them, but I came up with the last one, and that's penalty. But it's like, proof. When it's ingested, you have to let the person know that you're using they're using Billy Joel to ingest, and then you have to get permission, and then you have to get payment, and if you don't get payment, you get a penalty, so that it'll be like infringement. But man, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, very Wild West right now.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. It's like it's like a big lake full of everything you ever knew, and then all these little electric things that connect. That connect anything you want to say. Who killed John F. Kennedy? And it'll just go. Get everything anybody ever wrote about John F. Kennedy, and it'll say, here's what happened. It was the FBI and the CIA, and it might have been Ted Cruz's father.
Yeah, and you get it all in 5 seconds.
It's amazing. Yeah, it scares me. We're Terminator. We're there.
Yeah, Skynet, baby.
We are music. We're going to have music Terminators before long.
I think the live thing is about all there is left.
It's merch.
Yeah, merch. But they're coming out with holograms and stuff. So once you get a record deal, you won't have to tour anymore. You just
there
hologram
are some
yourself.
Cool holograms. What was recently one of those award shows? It was Frank Sinatra was a hologram, and
yeah.
Forgot about that.
It was really cool.
Yeah, that'll scare me too. Yeah, I'm scared about everything.
Yeah,
spiders most of all.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go to his restaurant downtown.
Yeah,
I want to go too.
We should go. We should go now. Where's your favorite place to eat in town?
You know what? My favorite special occasion place lately has been Eddie V's.
Good stuff
really
down there.
Good.
I've been there a couple times.
Really good. And there's one. It's a Detroit fish place that has a person's name. It's down in the Gulch. I can't think of the name of it. It's really good too.
Yeah.
Detroit fish place.
It's out of Detroit, and it specializes in fancy seafood.
Not Henrietta Red. No. What's that one under the Thompson?
Man,
it's not that one.
I drove through the Gulch today, and I thought I was in a whole different town.
I sometimes
down there in a while.
I sometimes come to Music Row and don't know where I am.
Yeah,
Dude.
right? I don't know how to get out of here.
The Gulch is nuts.
It's totally nuts.
I try my best not to go past 40. If it gets too close to 40, I start breaking out in hives, start sweating real bad. I get downtown, I get lost. The buildings are so tall. There's so many now.
Yeah.
And the people are angry, and they walk whenever they want to, and they honk at you.
And the scooters.
And the woo. I can't handle the woo. Woo. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I got behind 4 tractors in a pedal tavern the other day, and I almost didn't make it out.
I have a lyric that I can't keep. I write with these young artists and stuff. I can't get anybody to pick up on it, but the title is Hicks and Slickers. This town's full of Hicks and Slickers, and it's a real hard road for a guitar picker.
I like it.
I like it. Hicks and hookers.
What?
Huh? What? Oh, God almighty.
Nailed it.
Steve, I want to thank you for what you do for us.
Yes,
First
Steve.
and foremost.
Labor of love.
You're a good man, and it's easy to sit back and write songs and complain about it, but you write songs and you do something about it. So thank you very much, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate that. My bank account hopefully will appreciate you.
I hope so. It's a labor of love, and I get a little bit of something out of it. You know, I get to sit in rooms with like guys that their haircuts and their suits are worth more than my car, and I get to say, "Oh, fuck you! You don't know a thing." It's like pitching in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and that's why we love you, right there.
Yes, sir.
What else you got to add, Colt?
Well, Steve, I think now has come the time for you to spin the wheel of shame.
What is that?
I don't know. He bought this thing on Amazon.
Come on, it's fun.
It's fun.
All right.
The kids love it.
Just give it a little spin.
Yeah, just give it a little
Or I can
spinny
spin
spin.
it for you, but if you want to participate,
I feel like Steve wants to spin the wheel.
does.
Do I win something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a bag full of shame.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah. Oh, where do you at? God, please be smelling salts.
hypnotized.
Dragon's breath. Do you do well with hot stuff?
Oh, do you like hot stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You want to do? I got something for us.
Well, you don't ask him if he wants to do it.
You gonna make him do the smelling salts?
I don't know. Have you ever done smelling salts?
No.
Oh my lord!
you want to?
No.
He's got these smelling salts that are like super duper powered. And first day we opened them up, I got way in on the bottle and took a big old huff of it and thought my eye was going to fall out. It's ammonia, but like the most concentrated ammonia you've ever had. It's unreal bad. Everyone that does it has a seizure.
That doesn't sound fun.
It's so much fun.
See, we had a hard time the other day. We had some family over, so we thought we'd make a special cocktail.
Yeah.
And we made something called Victor's Potion. It was made of Campari and a nasty German wine and vodka and orange juice. And I handed it to my daughter and everybody, and they all went, "Ew, this is awful."
Well,
What do we do with this? Shoot it?
Yeah. Do you have any special words of wisdom you'd like to share before we do our dragon's breath?
why do we do shots of hot sauce?
It was your idea.
Is it really hot
It was, yeah.
But I put some
Is there
special sauce in there, so it's not just straight hot sauce.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
I'm over here with just straight hot sauce.
Okay.
Can't wait to burp in a little bit. It's gonna be awesome.
To creativity, camaraderie, and the music industry.
God bless you, Bo.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yep. Oh,
Fire!
Yes.
Look at Steve. You didn't even bat an eye.
that's fun, man.
You're a ledge mo.
That's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
I played a Bluebird live hospice thing this week with First Horizon for my friend Andrew Kintz.
Yeah.
And I got
I
to
know
tell,
Andrew. He's a good dude.
He's a great dude. I got to tell the story. He went with us to NSAI to D.C. one time, and it was an early flight. It was just me and him in the airport, and he said, "Steve, let me buy you a cup of coffee." So I had a guitar here and a briefcase and stuff. I was kind of laden down, and we go to Starbucks, and he buys me a cup of coffee, and I reached for it, and they didn't put the little sleeve around it. And I had nothing I could do. I couldn't throw the coffee. I couldn't drop it. I couldn't do anything. So I just held it for long enough, and he looks at me, and he grabs the cup, and up on my left thumb comes just a giant blister.
No way.
Big, pulpy blister.
Oh, my gosh.
And later that day, we're in like maybe Louis Gohmert's office, somebody's office, playing songs, and I'm playing a George Strait song, and I'm sliding my song, and the blister pops and sploosh all over the side of my guitar. And only Andrew sees. I didn't. Same thing. Bad Night is what reminded me of it.
Yeah.
Only Andrew saw it.
Yeah.
And I just kept playing. And we got outside, and he said, "We're friends forever. You're a rock star." He didn't even bat an eye.
That's amazing. Just a big blister gush.
Steve the Blister Bogard. Yeah.
He's got a new nickname.
You know. Well, man, thank you so much for coming in here today and hanging out with us.
Thank you for inviting
Thanks for
me.
what you do. And
Yeah, man.
It's a pleasure.
it's nice to call you friend and comrade. And I don't know.
Absolutely.
Man, thanks for fighting the good fight for
Yep.
all these years. No,
Yep.
A lot of fun.
helping
Yep.
a lot of songwriters actually make some money in this crazy business.
Yep.
I'm not quitting. I'm just moving aside.
So who's taking
treasurer
over
now.
again?
I'm treasurer now. Well, we just thought, since I had a real job, we thought it wasn't the best look to be involved in publishing and also really represent songwriters. It is the guy that followed me and that I followed, Mr. Lee Thomas.
Yeah, that's right, Lee.
Another
Perfect.
good one. Yeah. Well, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Tell
Let's
us where
see.
they can find us, Colt.
Yes, our favorite part.
Our favorite part.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're available on all streaming platforms. Like,
Streaming.
subscribe, follow,
Streaming.
rate.
Right.
All right.
Just send us money.
Yeah, send us some money.
Send us free stuff.
Yeah, we like
Okay.
swag.
Thank you. Appreciate
Steve.
y'all. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure.
We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.